Hi there, welcome to the Lad Mix Farm channel. It's Arthur here. Today we want to look at the avocado crop, and particularly I would like to tell you about the 8 key points to note about the Hass avocado tree farming and why it's called the green gold. Remember, now there is a craze about avocado growing, and there are good reasons behind that. First, it's a fruit that can be planted heavily per acre. In an acre, you'll require around 160 trees to be able to plant this Hass avocado. Now, that is way much compared to a mango, which is normally an acre takes around 58 plants. Because this one, in an acre, you put in 160 with a spacing of 5 by 5 meters apart, from one row to the other, but also from one tree to the other. For mangoes, normal around 8 because of the nature they grow. So you can imagine it's a crop that can be absorbed quite a lot if you are looking for volumes per acre. Secondly, it fruits from around 2.5 years to 3 years under good agronomic practices, meaning the farmer is able to start earning money quite early. That's why it's called the green gold. And then thirdly, the yields increase as the tree continues to expand. You might find when it can start flowering at this age, you'll pick the first fruits, and then thereafter it keeps on branching and expanding. Now that means money to a prospective farmer who's patient enough to, journey along with the tree. And therefore, you find yourself picking maybe the first season, it can give you maybe around 10 kilograms. The second season, maybe around 8. Remember, it's a crop that is harvested twice in a year. So people are going for this green gold because of some of these key factors that they find. Now, it is also a tree that can last up to 50 years. Once you have planted it, it really takes long as you continue, harvesting. From the experts, those that have grown them in those other regions and around the world, research shows that it can last up to 50 years. And it can actually grow as long as you continue doing the right agronomic practices, conducting the right pruning, and also trimming the unnecessary leaves around. You can be able to look after this crop for quite a long period. And as you continue, of course, harvesting twice a year. Of course, in a year, when you say twice a year, there's a season that gives you more production, and then another one may be like a lean harvest, but at least you'll be able to get at least twice a year. Now, it's a green gold because normally desired for its oil that is normally very healthy for human consumption. It is also a green gold because it's a crop for the export market. It's highly desired out there, and it can only grow in the tropics, meaning that there are few countries that can be able to grow this crop, and yet the demand is global. Now, when you look at the fruit, once it grows, can take up to 1 month shelf life, but that is precisely under refrigeration. And if you put it in cold environment, in a cold room and so forth, up to 1 month before it can be considered maybe to go bad and so forth. So that's an excellent pointer there, and knowing that it cannot go bad quite easily. It's a crop that does not require so much attention from a farmer, especially in terms of diseases and pests. When they go about caring for it, it does not require a lot of spraying. It's not like these other fruits trees like oranges and mangoes, which you find yourself either spraying every after 2 weeks or every after a month. This one, it's only done by spot checking, and therefore you only spray as and when need arises. And for instance, a particular farmer in District A may find himself needing to spray, while another farmer in a District X does not require to spray, because those are sporadic cases where they can be able to find some of these issues where it requires some of these interventions. So that makes it a very good crop to go for. Then it's a crop that can be planted both in the dry regions but also in the wet areas. For instance, if you're in the highlands, like in Uganda, in Kigezi sub-region, where it is cool, very cold, the avocado tree, Hass avocado tree, will be able to grow very well there. If you bring it in the northern part of the country, where it's generally dry, but having sufficient amounts of rainfall in a year, it also can grow there. So it is a crop, I can say, of all seasons, because it can really manage both varying climatic conditions. And therefore, people find themselves interested in this crop and therefore benefiting quite significantly from this crop. Now, it can also be left actually to grow naturally and without maybe pruning it and so forth. It will continue on growing and become such a big tree, and you can get in terms of hundreds and thousands of fruits per tree. But that means if you had a population of 160 trees in an acre, gradually you'll keep on thinning, removing maybe one line of the Hass avocado, so that it can what? So that it can continue expanding. You'll have fewer trees in an acre, but when they can give you high yields. It's a crop that can grow naturally and continue expanding and giving you high crop. So those are some of the pointers, the 8 key points why it's considered a green gold. And therefore we call you out there, if you have land, if you don't have to have a lot of land to plant this, 1 or 2 even in your compound, you can be able to plant it. And the demand is so high. The oil is so versatile in the sense that it can be used both for domestic use consumption, but also for the cosmetic industry. So even when you're unable to sell to the exporters or to take the right size of fruit that is needed by the market, the rejects are also taken by the value-adding companies around that need this crop highly. And demand is so high, but the production is so low. And therefore, I encourage you out there to go for this crop. Why not? So if you consider this information helpful, please let us know. Consider subscribing. There will give us more, understanding and, reason to continue doing this, knowing that people out there are appreciating. Thank you very much.